Onegin could, without a doubt, appreciate this fellow's gifts. The local squire's mighty crowd could not entice him with their feasts. He fled their noisy conversation, their sensible communication on mowing and wine stocks, on kennels, and on their kinfolks. Of course, it never blazed with feelings, nor poems or creative fire, nor witty talk, nor clever mind. In public life had no dealings, but conversation of their wives was for the most part unwise. Vladimir Lenski, rich and handsome, was everywhere received as groom. By rural custom universal, all daughters were for him presumed. A neighbor squire of dual nation, when he appeared, conversation would inadvertently arrive at boredom of unmarried life. When called for tea by hearty peers, and Dunya handing round the cake, they whispered her, "Much is at stake." Then a guitar would soon appear, and she would squeak, "Forgive me, God, come to my chamber of gold." But having no wish whatever to carry out marriage ties, Onegin, as his friend forever, was always wanted at his side. So they converged, the rocks and waves, the ice and flame, prose and verse, diverged far less from one another. First they were boring to each other by simple difference of mind. Then there was liking, I should say. They rode together every day, and soon became of a kind. The same with people. I repent when there is no other friend. No more friends who would be dear. Having all prejudices gone, we think of everyone as zero and treat ourselves as number one. We all but want to be Napoleons. Two-legged creatures count millions. For us they are just like a tool. One who has feelings is a fool. Eugene was better than the usual, although he ignored men and never thought too much of them. But no rule without exclusion, for he distinguished many folks and held their feelings very close. He heeded Lenski with a smile, the hot and fervid poet's talk, unstable in the judgment's mind, and constantly inspired look. But for Onegin all was noble. His freezing word on lips would hover, but he would not let it appear, for he would never interfere with his short-term beautification and think, "There goes the time, let him be happy for a while, and firmly trust in world's perfection. Let us forgive the early age, both youthful heat and youthful rage." Between them everything was argued, and led the friends to speculate. The treatise of the nations bygone, the fruits of science good and bad, and all the prejudice of ages, and fateful mysteries of Hades, and life and fate, and all the rest, all was subjected to their quest. The poet, in the heat of judgment, would read oblivious all the while the fragments from the northern rhymes. Meanwhile, Onegin, being indulgent, despite the lack of comprehension, would listen with extreme attention. So often carried off by passions, were minds of desert-dwelling men, removed from their rebellious clashes. Onegin used to speak of them with inadvertent sigh of sadness. Be blessed the one who knew their madness, and finally let go them all. More blessed who knew them not at all, who cooled his feelings with partition, who countered foes with verbal strife, while yawning with his friends and wife, without accepting jealous mission, and his grandfather's solid cash was from the tricky twain stashed. Having resorted to the banner of wise and prudent peace and calm, when flame of passions has gone down and we are starting to make fun of their arbitrary vocation and the belated revocations, being meek and humble as we can, we may be hateful now and then to the insurgent affectations, and the response on our part exactly so an old dotard will bow down his ear gracious to stories by bewhiskered youths forgotten in his old booth. Nevertheless, the youth of fire is able nothing to conceal. Ill will and love and sadness dire, it is quite ready to reveal. Being in the world of love inversion, Onegin listened with attention, as lover of confessing soul, the poet thus expressed his role. His trusting and confiding conscience he simple-heartedly disclosed. Eugene held his ear close to youthful tale of his emotions, a tale abundant in affections, wherein we find no freshness. His love was such as at this time love is no more, with one exclusion. Insane maker of the rhyme is doomed to love to life's conclusion. There has been always but a dream, the only customary whim, the only customary shading, neither the distance downgrading, nor the long years of separation, nor hours given to the muses, nor beauties of the foreign cruises, nor joyful feasts, nor education had been his sole modifier, intensified by virgin fire.